live from KSAT 12. Good Morning San Antonio starts right now.
And good morning. It is Friday. I do not think it's October the 10th, though.
No, we're not there yet. Let's not rush through October.
Look, my brain was just like, wait, what time is it? Okay.
It's October 4th.
There we go.
And we are looking forward to the entire month. We're going to be checking in with Sarah Costa later. She's going to be live at the zoo, so she's going to be talking about a new habitat. But, a reminder, though, zoo also has Zoo-Boo this month.
Ooh, Zoo-Boo. Hey, let's go ahead and head outside and take a look at the city real quick, man. I am super excited. It is Friday. Skies are clear. We do got a little bit of popcorn up there. I see that right there.
A little bit of popcorn.
Yeah, a little popcorn. And we got Mia in the building today. Hey, how you doing?
Good morning. Doing great, especially since I get to start off my Friday with you wonderful people. Yes, it is going to be another warmer than average day and warmer than average first weekend of October. So not quite feeling like fall just yet. Take a look at current conditions outside right now. Today's going to be pretty similar to what we saw yesterday. So we're at 77 degrees here in San Antonio, just a few degrees warmer over there in New Braunfels, checking in at 79. 60s, though, up in the hill country, not too bad for places like Bernie as well as Kerrville. We are expecting still plenty of sunshine into this afternoon, maybe a few more pop-up passing clouds later on today. A high temperature in the low to mid 90s, right around 93 to 94 here in San Antonio. Still having to wait, though, for a noticeable cold front to move through. Still not seeing any indications for the foreseeable future that will happen for us here in South Texas. So the 90s do look to continue even through next week. Mornings will be near 70 for now and into the weekend. However, a push of drier air looks to work in next week, leading to some more refreshing mornings back down into the 60s. What about rain chances? Just a very small chance tonight and into Saturday. Most of us missing out, but I'll show you what the latest version of your Futurecast says coming up here a little bit later on, guys.
Thank you, Mia. Looking out there with TransGuide. The camera shots look fine, but we are seeing on the TxDOT website that there's a pretty big crash out at Loop 1604 at Kyle Seal Parkway. So it looks like at least 3 lanes are blocked right now. That, not on your screen. That's Loop 410 in Fredericksburg. That's fine over there. But we are talking again about Loop 1604 at Kyle Seal Parkway. So just be aware of that.
All right, here's today's 9 and 9.
It was a week ago this morning when Hurricane Helene barreled into the southeast. The search for victims continues after more than 200 people were killed. A lack of phone service and electricity continues to hinder efforts to contact people who are unaccounted for. Rescue crews and volunteers, including Texas A&M Task Force 1, continue to work long days, navigating past washed out roads, down power lines, and mudslides. The Texas A&M Veterinary Emergency Team has also been deployed by the Texas Division of Emergency Management.
Dock workers are expected to return to work today. The union representing 45,000 striking dock workers at East and Gulf Coast ports reached a deal to suspend the strike until January the 15th. The workers were looking for an increased salary and job security. A person briefed on the agreement said that the ports sweetened their wage offer from about 50% over 6 years to 62%.
As Election Day approaches, Vice President Kamala Harris and former President Donald Trump are in the battleground states today. Yesterday, former Republican Congresswoman Liz Cheney introduced Vice President Harris at a rally in Wisconsin and said she is voting for a Democrat for the first time in her life. Now Trump heads back to Butler, Pennsylvania, the site of the first assassination attempt. The Secret Service is making changes to his protection, which include large white tents where Trump is set to speak.
John Diddy Combs' criminal sex trafficking case has been assigned to a new judge. No explanation for the change was given. The judge previously assigned denied Combs bond and ordered him detained in jail while awaiting trial. Combs was arrested earlier this month and is charged with racketeering conspiracy, sex trafficking, and transportation to engage in prostitution. He has pleaded not guilty to the charges.
Another Tesla recall, the 5th for its electric truck this year. The EV maker says rear-view camera images may not appear right away in more than 27,000 Cybertrucks in the U.S. The error could increase the risk of a crash when the vehicle is in reverse. Tesla addressing the issue with a software update. So far, there have been no reports of collisions or injuries.
International travelers can get passports sooner than before. The State Department says typical processing time is now 4 to 6 weeks. That's down from the previous time of 6 to 8 weeks. Keep in mind, the clock starts ticking when the State Department receives your application and ends when they send it out. If you are renewing, you can now file your paperwork online. The processing time for expedited passports haven't changed. It's still 2 to 3 weeks.
Caitlin Clark is the 2024 WNBA Rookie of the Year. The 22-year-old point guard received the title after an outstanding season with the Indiana Fever. Now, Clark became the league's single-season assist record holder. She is also the first rookie to record a triple-double and holds the record for the most three-pointers made by a rookie in WNBA history. The title comes after Clark made history at the University of Iowa, becoming the NCAA's all-team leading scorer for both men and women.
Eminem has a new name, Grandfather. The rapper announced his daughter, Haley Jade, is expecting her first child. He released the news in a music video for his song Temporary, featuring Skylar Grey. At one point, Haley Jade is seen giving her father a blue shirt that reads Grandpa on the back. The music video showcases a montage of home videos of Haley Jade and Eminem with footage from her recent wedding.
Music enthusiasts and collectors will get a chance to own a piece of rock and roll history next month. The electric guitar that George Harrison played during the Beatles' early years will be up for bid at the annual Rock and Roll Music Auction in Nashville. The guitar is now valued at up to $800,000. It is currently part of the exhibition at the Beatles Story Museum in Liverpool. From there, the guitar will make its way to New York City for public viewing. Then the Musicians Hall of Fame in Nashville. And that's today's 9 at 9.
All right, the biggest habitat the San Antonio Zoo has ever had is opening this morning.
That's right. Our Sarah Costa is live where the zoo right now is holding its ribbon cutting event. And Sarah, I think I see some giraffes back there. Tell us what this new habitat will feature.
This is so cool, guys. This is the Naylor Savannah habitat. This is the largest habitat the San Antonio Zoo has ever had. And right behind me, you're seeing the giraffes, and they are getting a nice little morning treat. And you might be looking at this and be like, well, isn't this kind of similar to where the giraffes were before? Yes, but this is now a much larger habitat. They've expanded it to the area where the elephants used to roam. And so now they have such a large area to roam. This habitat is going to feature the giraffes, which have 3 males right now. They're going to be adding some females. They're going to have zebras roaming. Ostriches can roam between the giraffe and rhino habitat. This also kind of connects the rhino habitat in this area. Now, the coolest part of this habitat, let me show you. Steven, can you show that cool new Airbnb over there? That is a brand new part of this habitat. The Airbnb can comfortably fit 4 people, where you have views of giraffes and zebras and ostriches, and people can start staying there. Later this month, it costs about $1,400 a night, or like how they're saying, you know, split it between those 4 people. And they're gonna have new tours. You can tour the space at the ground level. And so there's going to be so much going on at this safari in the city with those Con Safari tours. It's all very cool. This is the largest habitat the zoo has ever had. And you can see that event is kicking off right behind me. So we're kind of stepped away from it. There's a lot of people in that area, and they're, we didn't want to disturb them. We wanted just to chill here with the giraffes. But again, coming up at 9:30, hopefully we can talk to some of the organizers or people about what this means to the zoo and more of those new changes. Live from the San Antonio Zoo, I'm Sarah Costa, KSAT 12 News. Back to you guys.
Yeah, can you imagine waking up and looking out your window and there's a giraffe just walking by?
That is super cool. a little pricey for a lot of San Antonio residents, but
we can split it. Yeah, get 10 people in there. We split all of it.
Everybody, right? That is super cool, and then super cute that Sarah was hanging out with the giraffes right now.
It is 9:07 right now. We got 77 degrees outside.
Well, pumpkin spice and pumpkin flavors are everywhere right now for the fall season, and many of us may be curious to know what ingredients actually go into making these flavors. And no, it's not just pumpkin. Still ahead, Ivan Adetta breaks it down and tells us what's inside.
Holiday shopping is near, and some big deals are headed your way. After the break, what you can expect at some big retailers. All right, 9/11, welcome back. Okay, so you're ready to start your holiday gift shopping. It's only October, but experts are anticipating some of the lowest prices of the year with Amazon Prime deals.
I think I'm only ready to Halloween shop, but we'll see. This along with big sale events from other retailers. So here's ABC's Lorene Shaw with what to expect.
For 48 hours, October 8th and 9th, Amazon's Prime Big Deal Days will give shoppers a chance to save on their holiday gift list. And experts say to expect deep discounts, especially on brands owned by Amazon.
Think Blink security cameras, Fire TV sticks, Kindle. So we'll be seeing discounts as high as 60% in some cases on those devices.
Some sales will last the full 2 days, while new deals will be dropping throughout the event.
Sometimes those deals only last a very limited time. So you need to kind of jump in and get it if you happen to be on your phone or at a computer at that time. And then there are these invite only deals that you can sign up for. And if you're selected, you can get an extra discount.
To take advantage of the discounts, experts say to get organized now. You can start by adding items to your Amazon cart and clicking Save for Later.
That way I can see everything in one place and also what's on sale come Prime Day.
Before checking out, compare prices with other retailers.
Lots of other big retailers jumping in with their own big sales. We're seeing sales from Target, Walmart, Best Buy, Lowe's, and more.
And look for coupons and cashback offers.
I'm seeing some things like a free gift card if you buy a certain amount. There'll be specially priced bundles. So look for that from Amazon and other retailers as you shop these sales.
Zoreen Shah, ABC News Los Angeles.
Oh my gosh. Okay, so I know you say you're an in-order person, so you're thinking about Halloween.
Yes.
You're all about the October deals.
I would love to shop early because I know there's good deals now. And then even in the summer, I have some relatives, very organized relatives, who shop in the summer for Christmas, but I can't think that far ahead. And on top of that, at least the people that I know, the kids in my life, like nieces and nephews, and like my daughter, like they think they want something like in the summertime, and by December they want something else.
There's so many new things coming out within that time frame too. I know I haven't even gotten my Halloween candy yet to pass out, so I think I probably need to check that box off first before I start thinking about
I would
Christmas.
say I went to At Home yesterday, the store, and I was this close to buying a life-size version of a polar bear. He was standing like this.
Wow.
And he had frost on him, so I was just like, I could get that right now if I wanted to.
Maybe it'll be discounted soon.
We should have gotten a lot of the kind of wintry and fall-like decor. You might be onto something to kind of usher in some cooler weather. I wish, because right now, I mean, we're still 90s. Not just this weekend, but even into next week as well. I know you checked the calendar and it's what, October 4th? And you're like, nope, I'm still gonna wear the short sleeve and the flip-flops outside because it still feels like summer in the afternoons. That is gonna be the theme yet again over the next several days. We still have to wait a little bit longer before we start to see some noticeable cold fronts move through. Just still not seeing much indication that that's gonna happen for us just yet. But we will be monitoring for a very small chance for rain later on tonight and tomorrow. Right now, a lot of that green that you're seeing around San Antonio is just radar noise, ground clutter. There is an area of low pressure, a little disturbance that's currently just off of the Gulf Coast south of Corpus Christi. This is going to try and fling some additional moisture into South Texas over the next 24 to 36 hours. But I think the bulk of that thicker moisture is going to sit south of San Antonio. So we're going to keep a 10% chance. That's it. In the forecast later on this evening after about 5 p.m. and into tonight for maybe a stray shower to develop. Better chances are going to be south of the San Antonio area, closer to the Rio Grande Valley, maybe a few isolated showers near Cotulla, Carrizo Springs by 5, 6 p.m. We'll keep that 10% chance going through the overnight. I think the first half of our Saturday is dry, and then as we head into Saturday afternoon and evening, that 10 to 20% potential for an isolated shower is in the forecast, but I do want to manage expectations here. The vast majority of us are going to miss out, but still at least it's something. And of course, we will continue to monitor it. Fingers crossed that at least a few areas pick up on an isolated shower, because you can see by Sunday, an into next week, rain chances are out of the picture, and we definitely need the rain. If you missed it, this was the latest drought monitor update that was released yesterday. We still, of course, have severe drought across portions of the hill country south of Kerrville. That's this burnt orange color that you see here, and even a little pocket of extreme drought in northeastern Uvalde County. But one of the more noticeable changes that we saw with yesterday's update was that moderate drought has now been expanded farther off to the south and east, now encompassing the vast majority of Bexar County. And if you were curious, it has now been over 1,000 days since all of Bexar County was last considered to be drought-free. The last time we saw that was January 4th back in 2022. And we know that this drought is, yes, of course, affecting the agriculture business across south central Texas, also our area rivers, lakes, and reservoirs. Take a look at the latest levels. Canyon Lake only at 54.4% full, record low levels there. Medina Lake only at 3% full, about 90 feet below the conservation pool. Choke Canyon sitting at about 19% full. So as we head into the second half of October, hopefully we'll start to see some better pattern changes that could result in a few more fronts working through that could help us with some better rain chances and cooler temperatures, because as of right now, hotter than average daytime highs will continue for the foreseeable future. 86 degrees is our average high for early October. We will be well above that each and every day. 90 is in the forecast, and you can see as of the latest outlook from the Climate Prediction Center, that will continue even through mid-October for much of the lower 48, and that is expected for us here in Texas as well. In the meantime, 77 degrees here in San Antonio, plenty of sunshine. Here's your KSAT 12-hour forecast. A high temperature right around 93 expected by 3 to 4 o'clock. Then we'll gradually start to see those thermometers fall into the 80s if you're stepping out for any Friday evening plans or football games in and around the San Antonio area. Low 90s expected tomorrow, a bit of added cloud cover, 94 on Sunday, and then plenty of sunshine. Notice slightly cooler mornings, though, by next week as we see another push of drier air. We'll talk more in depth about that coming up in the next half hour.
You know what I just thought about? A Halloween swimming party.
Well, in Texas, that's very appropriate.
That is so
It is
cool.
highly possible that would work out at this point.
I would be Ursula.
Oh, no, but like a floaty.
You
So get the floaty.
I'm already looking forward to the costume.
That would be a cool costume pull item to have you just like put it on.
yeah.
And, yeah.
That would be kind of
Got all that body language.
we need to market this. Like,
Let's go.
I think Job's onto something
little
here.
ghost floaties. Let's check in with SA Live. You guys want to celebrate with us in the pool for Halloween?
A pool costume party.
Yeah.
I'm digging this, and I love your outfits, by the way. Today, y'all all look beautiful.
Thank you. And you guys are very fall-like.
You know, it's
Very
like we
beautiful,
planned
coordinated.
it. We're just inside each other's heads.
Right here. Yes.
All right. Okay, well, take a look at what we've got in front of us here. And this local restaurant, well, they've been around for quite some time.
Yes, they've been around for decades. Maricita Garcia is joining us now. How long have you guys been in San Antonio?
We've been around for 61 years. So we're on generation number 3, which includes me, my little brother over there.
Wow.
And so, we're excited to be here and continue to share our, tradition with you all.
Yes, many family memories at the Little Red Barn. What are we making with you today?
So in a little bit, we're going to be cooking up our porterhouse, which is a phenomenal piece of meat. We'll get into that a little bit later, but I don't think you guys are going to be disappointed.
All right, steak sounds great, right,
Not
Fiona?
be disappointed, yes. Okay, and the Hispanic Heritage Month isn't over yet, and helping us celebrate in a healthy way, we've got Elizabeth Martinez with Naco Mexican and Naco Grayson, authentic Mexican recipes.
Yes, and we're doing a healthier twist. That looks amazing. And you won't feel so bad, right, Lizette?
Of course, yes. We're going to be doing the Hispanic on the healthy way. We're going back to basics this time.
Back to basics. That sounds great. I hope you're hungry.
Well, and get your tickets to the prom. That's right, to the musical is at the Wonder Theater, and we give you a sneak peek.
Oh, I'm excited for that. You know what? From prom to homecoming, we want to see pictures of your moms, maybe some homecoming photos. Scan that QR code right there and share them. I think Fiona has a throwback. We get to
I can't believe I found it. All right, all that and more when SA Live continues later on.
Welcome back. It's 9:23. Well, fall is in the air. Well, for the most part. Or the smell of pumpkin bread and pumpkin pie, maybe. So before you reach for that little can of pumpkin, do you know what is actually inside?
It's the spirit of fall, not the actual fall yet. Ivan Herrera, lift the lid on what you're really getting in that supermarket can.
Just like a jack-o'-lantern, some pumpkins can wear a disguise. There's a secret hiding in this can. You probably expect there to be pumpkin inside, right? But don't be scared. Instead, it's more likely to contain a variety of squash like these.
Even if the can says 100% pumpkin, it's probably a mix of pumpkin and other golden squash, which is actually denser and sweeter. The FDA has allowed it to be called pumpkin since 1938.
But this trick is still a treat. Honestly, you probably can't tell the difference because it's the spices you add, like cinnamon, nutmeg, ginger, and cloves, that give your baked goods that delicious pumpkin spice flavor.
Whether it's fresh or canned, pumpkin and squash are super healthy. They're rich in antioxidants, and 1 cup you need in a day or more.
And don't feel bad about choosing canned pumpkin over fresh. A cup of canned pumpkin has twice as much fiber as fresh pumpkin and is loaded with iron. But whatever you do, don't confuse canned pumpkin with canned pumpkin pie mix. Pumpkin pie mix can have about 48 grams of added sugars per cup. And pumpkin doesn't just need to be for dessert.
Pumpkin can be a great addition to your morning smoothie. Drop in a few tablespoons with some Greek yogurt, a banana, a little milk, and some cinnamon. It's a healthy and delicious start to your day.
Ivan Herrera, KSAT 12 News.
Are you a pumpkin fan?
Depends.
Yeah?
Yeah.
In our household, it was all about sweet potato. We didn't do pumpkin pie. It was a sweet potato pie. I always think that was kind of the same, I guess.
Well, it was more my family as far as like Thanksgiving. They were into the pumpkin pie. I was like, where are the brownies? Straight to the chocolate.
I love it. Okay, 9:25 right now, 77 degrees outside. Of course, we got a lot more ahead on GMSA at 9. A new program for children with autism is changing families' lives. All about PACT coming up in our next half hour.
Well, he has leaned on running as an important component of his own recovery. Now San Antonio man is running to raise money for a facility that would help the families of those seeking treatment for substance abuse. Welcome back. It's 9:30. Well, San Antonio man is running across the country to raise money and awareness to help people struggling with substance abuse. So this is Kenneth Anderlich, and he started his journey on September 20th. He is running from Washington, D.C. to San Antonio in hopes of raising money for a first-of-its-kind recovery center. Now, the journey hits close to home for Kenneth, who had struggled with addiction himself. But now that he's thriving in long-term recovery, he's looking to help others who are seeking treatment but do not want to be separated from their families.
He's been running every day, averaging about 40 miles a day, as Kenneth Anderlich makes his way back to San Antonio, all the way from Washington, D.C.
I'm just a little tired just from the natural progression from this, but I mean, overall, I feel like we're going the right direction.
Kenneth, who has been down the path of addiction and understands the struggles of substance abuse, has leaned on running as an important component of his own recovery. He's now running to raise money for a first-of-its-kind center for those seeking treatment so they don't have to worry about being separated from their children.
Sometime in 2025, hopefully, that there is a facility that's open for families that are predominantly needing recovery.
That there's a big need in our community for a place where families can be in recovery while staying with their children.
Kenneth's mother also struggled with addiction and died of an overdose when he was 20 years old.
Having a mom who I lost through addiction, she would have probably never would have picked treatment if it meant for her to be away from us.
In between running, Kenneth has been meeting with different nonprofits in the recovery industry, the homeless industry, trying to get the word out about how important these recovery programs are for people who are struggling.
He wants to not only create the awareness about the program here in San Antonio, but he's hoping in the communities he's running through, he can raise that awareness as well.
It is an illness, and it's something that it can be treated if you continue to work with that person. You know, how to tackle this problem without the judgment.
That's a great man right there.
Yeah.
I'm telling you. Now, is this what we're looking at like a map of where he's at?
Well, so this little tracker is on his website, Run Can Run.
Oh my God!
So this is Washington D.C.
Okay.
And then this is, of course, San Antonio, Texas. And so he's making his way through. He started on September 20th, and he had to deal with a lot of rain like early in his journey.
Mm-hmm.
And he doesn't like to give a timeline, he says, but he's hoping that he'll be back in San Antonio on November 5th.
God, Lord, man. Well, hey, that's a great story and a great cause that he's doing it for.
Yes, and he's also met a lot of people along the way. He was telling me he met a woman who gave him like her whole stand of hot dogs.
That's awesome.
And then he met a man who was vacationing. I forgot which part. He was vacationing somewhere, and he saw Kenneth running, and he was asking a little bit about what he was doing, and then he donated just $100 cash. So
I love that. Yeah. Steph, that's a great story.
Thank you, Japanese. So hopefully we'll get to meet with him again when he comes back on November 5th. So in the meantime, if you would like to support Ken, he is trying to help start a Families in Recovery Center right here in San Antonio. You can go to his website. Pretty easy to remember, Run Can Run, and you can also track his route so you can see there and see how much he has raised so far.
All right, Run Can Run, I love it. And we need to run out to the zoo real quick.
Yeah, let's go ahead and check out our friends here on Zoo Cam.
There we go.
We're getting different angles today.
I was expecting. Okay, so look, the little light skinned one right there. He's about to start. I was hoping he was going to start flapping, but it's okay. There we go. I knew it was coming. Hey, go, hold on. Don't beat him up. Look, he's trying to threaten him.
It's a feisty Friday there at the San Antonio Zoo. Well, taking a look at the flamingos now, the day for the San Antonio Zoo this morning is pretty exciting there.
San Antonio Zoo has something exciting to celebrate. Of course, they're opening the largest habitat the nonprofit has ever had.
Our Sarah Costa is live at the zoo and showing the newest feature of the Savannah habitat. Sarah.
Hey, good morning, ladies. This is so cool. So earlier we were showing you the giraffes, but now as part of that habitat, we are in the new Airbnb. This is so cool. You literally walk out to your patio and this is your view. So look, this is your view. Look, Steven, can you see the giraffes? Oh my gosh, and the zebra and ostriches. This is your view. This is so cool. And I am joined here with Kyle, who does the most for us here at the San Antonio Zoo. Okay, Kyle, I'm sorry, I'm in the way. Okay, so tell us about this new Airbnb. How can people come and enjoy?
Yeah, so this is pretty amazing. This is really unique to San Antonio. We just had the grand opening of the Naylor Savannah, which is the largest habitat in the history of San Antonio Zoo. As part of that habitat is Spec Boom Lodge, what we're standing in right now. It accommodates 4 people. It's got a little kitchenette. It's got everything that you would need to stay overnight here at San Antonio Zoo, but you're also going to wake up to giraffes and zebras and all the animals from the savannah. So it's super unique and really exciting that we're inviting this here.
Very cool. Stephen, can we get a look inside the Airbnb that comfortably fits about 4 people? Okay, and how much does it cost if people can stay here, and how can they stay here?
Yes, so this will be opening up for reservations later this month. You can go to sazoo.org to find out more and also put yourself on the list. It's going to cost around $1,400 a night, but it is super exciting because you can bring 4 people. You'll also get food and beverage service while you're here. You have unlimited animal interactions. You have a private interaction with giraffes as well. And then we're also going to give you a barn tour. So there's a lot that comes with it. It is so worth it. Also, nothing else like that in this space.
Okay, so when families come, earlier we were showing the giraffes and people might think, oh, wasn't that where the giraffes were before? But what makes this different is you guys expanded from where the elephants used to be, and also the zebras and ostriches can all kind of roam between here and the rhino exhibit.
Absolutely. So the rhinos and the giraffes have double the space than they had before, but then the zebras, ostriches, and the other animals that are smaller, they have 3 times the amount of space. And so that really gives them access to harmoniously live as if they would in the savannah. So when you come and visit, there's always something new to see. Come feed giraffes, come meet the rhinos. You can also have a rhino behind the scenes experience. There's so much to do here. Really, the Naylor Savannah is the biggest, baddest thing in San Antonio now.
I'm very excited about this Airbnb. Well, thank you, Kyle. And hey, coming up, there are a lot of families that were lined up outside the zoo before it opened. We already talked to one family. We're going to talk to more about what this means to them and the community right here in San Antonio. From the San Antonio Zoo, I'm Sarah Costa, KSAT 12 News. Back to you guys.
How exciting. Thank you, Sarah. Looks cool out there.
I'm telling you, waking up with a head of lettuce and just hand it out the window. Just hand it out the window.
Breakfast of champions, a cup of coffee, and a head of lettuce to feed the giraffes.
That would be so exciting.
Sounds like quite the experience, that's for sure. And hopefully temperatures will start to cool down looking ahead to the back half of the month of October to make it just a little bit more comfortable for everybody outside. Still dealing with the 90-degree afternoon temperature trend for the foreseeable future. I do want to show you today's pollen count, though. Ragweed still in the moderate category at 170. Molds are also present this Friday as we get ready to wrap up the work week, but they are low at 420. All right, let's talk about low temperatures this morning. Once again, wasn't too bad here in San Antonio. We dipped down into the upper 60s officially for a few hours over at SA International. Check out portions of the hill country, though. Kerrville, Comfort, even out west in Lakey. Those low temperatures managed to fall into the upper 50s to kickstart the day. Now looking ahead to this weekend, lows will still be right around 70 degrees, so that is above average for this time of year. However, we are expecting another push of drier air to work in next week. That could lead to low temperatures closer to the average by Thursday, Friday, even into the following weekend. So at least we do have that going for us if we still have to deal with these 90-degree afternoons. In the meantime, we're still in the 70s across the board for the most part. Kerrville holding on to the upper 60s. We're going to have another full check at your KSAT 12-hour forecast and your weekend coming up a little bit later on.
Thank you, Mia. Let's look out there with TransGuide and see if there are any problems on the roadways. Everything looking good there at 1604 at Wiseman Road. And only on the TxDOT website, we're still looking at that a crash there at Kyle Still Parkway happening at Loop 1604. Again, not on your screen, but just be aware of that. Well, an entirely new way to approach autism, and a therapist right here in San Antonio was the first person in the nation to be trained.
The Autism Community Network is still the only center in the U.S. for therapy that caters to parents of autistic children.
Our Courtney Friedman tells us why this is so different and how it's already changing lives.
Tracy Saunders has 3 sons with autism, ages 17, 13, and 6.
All of my boys have presented so differently that I've had to learn new skills for all of them.
She's learned those skills from the Autism Community Network in San Antonio, which provides diagnoses, therapy, and family services. That includes a new program called the Pediatric Connection Autism Therapy, or PACT. It helps the caregiver identify strengths in the child and shine a light on that.
Without an approach like this, these kids can kind of go through life thinking they're just a big package of deficits.
Autism Community Network CEO Dr. Carrie Alvarado was the first American ever trained to offer PACT. Now she's trained 2 other local therapists, and the group is still the only one offering it in the United States. The goal, approaching autistic people in a different way, not forcing them to conform.
We try to force that little round peg into a square hole. All we do is break them, right? And so let's develop approaches that are building on those strengths that the child has.
PACT kids globally have gone on to college, engage in society, and find more independence. The program, just 12 to 18 weeks, about an hour a week.
It's actually better via telehealth because I can see you and your child interacting in your natural environment.
Here's Saunders and Alvarado in one of their sessions.
Do it, Mickey. Mickey went in. So you had an option to go functional language, which was in, or you had a language to go symbolic, which was sit, right? So tell me a little bit about your thinking there.
I feel like he has kind of mastered in and out.
I love that you're thinking about what he would be saying where he is developmentally.
Courtney Friedman, KSAT 12 News.
Of course, you can learn so much more about the PACT program. Just head to our website at ksat.com.
And time now is 9:41, and we're at 77 degrees. You're watching GMSA at 9.
It's a scary statistic. Cancer is now the leading cause of death for Latinos, and one San Antonio Cancer Center is trying to reverse that trend. Why they say that it's happening and what they're doing to spread awareness in the Alamo City. Welcome back, y'all. Of course, if you are expecting some cooler temperatures, you are a little disappointed, but it's okay.
It's okay. And then if you're expecting rain here locally, maybe not a whole lot, but that's not the case in other parts of the country, though.
In other parts of the country, I mean, we've been talking about what for a week now, Helene's aftermath across the eastern half of the United States near the Appalachian Mountains. I mean, it was just incredible to see how much real estate was affected by that particular system. And that brings up a good point, the tropics, because we are definitely still in hurricane season. And I do want to talk about some activity that is going on in the Atlantic Basin. basin. Now, right off the bat, these two systems really of no concern for us here in South Central Texas. They really don't even pose a threat to the United States as of right now. We've got Hurricane Kirk churning over the central Atlantic. Kirk is a powerful Category 4 hurricane as of this morning. It's going to continue to work farther up to the north, though, and stay east of the east coast of the United States. And then on its heels, Tropical Storm Leslie, which continues to work through the eastern Atlantic as well. I do want to point out that the National Hurricane Center continues to monitor the central and now eastern Gulf of Mexico. There's a little disturbance. It's going to be pushing away from the state of Texas, so this also is not a concern for us either, but it has given it a medium 40% potential for maybe some development over the next week or so. Regardless on if that happens, though, check this out. 5 to 10 inches of rain will be possible across portions of the Florida Peninsula over the next 7 days as the moisture associated with that system works closer to the Sunshine State. Of course, this is after the rain that they already saw from Helene just last week. So we'll, of course, continue to keep you posted on any developments with that particular system in the days ahead. For now, though, Florida expecting high temperatures right around 90 degrees this afternoon. Same for us here in San Antonio, right around 93 to 94 officially in the Alamo City. Much of the Lone Star State dealing with those 90-degree temperatures later on this afternoon. Some 70s possible across portions of the Central Plains and the northern tier. You may be wondering, why are we not really expecting any noticeable cold fronts to work through our neck of the woods? And for that answer, we take a look across the northern tier, the Pacific Northwest, even up into Canada. Over the next several days, they are still expecting hotter than average temperatures. This is where we typically see some of that colder air that's being released from the north start to sink its way farther off to the south. That's what helps push these cold fronts through our region. They're not even expected to see cooler than average temperatures, which means that we are not either, at least here in San Antonio. And that also brings up some interesting stats here. The first cooler afternoon that we typically see when we take a look at the average from 1993 to 2023, where we see a high temperature below 80. The average first afternoon where that typically happens is September 12th. So we are already past that benchmark here in San Antonio. How about first cooler morning below 60? The average where that happens September 26th. So we are also past that benchmark as well. I believe the coolest low temperature we've seen so far this season was 62 degrees. It happened back on September 27th. So we will still wait for some more chilly temperatures to work in, because as of right now, especially in the afternoons, it is still going to feel a bit like summer out there. 77 degrees right now. Plenty of sunshine in San Antonio. Winds generally out of the north at about 5 to 10 miles per hour. We will anticipate more sunshine into this afternoon. Perhaps a few more clouds starting to develop later on today. There's that forecast high right around 93. Just a 10% chance for a stray shower in the forecast, especially after 5 p.m. Better chances both tonight and especially into tomorrow will reside south of San Antonio. Very, very isolated. Consider yourself lucky if you do manage to tap into a quick shower. Unfortunately, it's not going to amount to much, but hopefully at least you find a little bit of activity on authority radar, because you can see by Sunday and into next week, we are back to just a dry and warm pattern, but at least mornings will be a little bit nicer, back in the 60s next week as well.
That's good. And also, I know 90s, but at least low 90s, right?
Yes, and with, you know, the drier that we've had, it also helps because we don't really have to deal with that much of a heat index value. So that is a slight added bonus. You know, we'll see what we can find.
It's almost fall.
Almost.
Yes.
We're getting close.
All right, let's head out to our friends over at SA Live. Earlier, you guys had some golden potatoes. I've been thinking about those ever since we showed you the last time. So please tell us what's going on.
Yes. We'll work on that for you, Japhanie.
Well, and the thing is, like, you know, with food like that, it can be comforting, right?
Oh, yes. And it smells so good in here. Not to rub it in, but yes.
We have Elizabeth Martinez with Naco Mexican and Naco Grayson here.
Hi.
And you are going to be doing a free class
tomorrow
at the Wonder Theater.
Yep.
And what will it be covering?
It's going to be covering the healing powers of Hispanic food. So basically what we're trying to do is going back to basics and incorporating all those good nutrients that are packed in our vegetables that are just naturally there. Like, did you know that bell pepper can lower your blood pressure naturally?
Bell peppers?
Bell peppers, yeah.
And that's included in so many dishes.
It's yeah, of course.
Oh, she's going in.
Yep, there you go. And then the radish, we have a beautiful, colorful radish right there. A watermelon radish can lower your sugar levels. So that's just like health in your table.
This is going to be the healthiest and most relaxed we've gone into the show.
And wait until we get to the avocado, because the avocado has a lot of magnesium. So it helps just like relax, and it'll help you like just connect all your brain cells. It's just good stuff for you.
Oh, my brain cells need connected.
Yeah, they need to be connected. It's just good stuff.
Bowl of guac, I mean, it's worth it.
It's worth it. It's worth it. You're not only eating healthy by eating all the vegetables, but you're eating delicious too. So we're going to be teaching how to incorporate those on your daily meals, keep them delicious, and just going into the more nutritious part. I mean, in NACO, we do this every day. We cook from scratch. Everything that we have is natural. So the whole thing, it's coming. The salt. I mean, even the salsa. As long as you don't add oil to it, it's all full of vegetables. It's just a bowl of tomatoes, basically. You know, it's just good stuff.
Yes, yes, and you know what goes into everything because you guys make that with love. Like you said, when you know what's going into your food, makes all the difference. Now, what are we making today?
We're going to be making a mushroom quesadilla because we're going to be adding this mushroom quesadilla to the menu. Very simple. We'll be adding fresh garlic, super high antioxidants too, and the mushrooms.
And the benefits of mushrooms.
The benefits of mushrooms, they have so many benefits. They're antioxidant, they have a lot of fiber on them, they have a lot of water on them, and they're very easy to cultivate. So not only they're good and delicious, but they're very healthy for the planet as well.
Okay, what'd you put on there?
It's a homemade seasoning of crushed garlics, parsley, and salt. Very little salt. So we'll be
keeping it
taking
simple,
those.
but effective.
You want to put in the tortillas right on the grill? Thank you.
Get that going.
Perfect.
And you have 2 locations for those who haven't been.
I know.
Tell us where they can find you.
Of course. The original one, it's our beloved food truck on Flavor Corner, 410 and Nacogdoches. And we're open daily in the mornings. And the Grayson location, it's on 310 Grayson on the Pearl area. Not inside the Pearl, but on that area.
On the area. Yeah. Okay, so stick around. We will continue with the quesadillas in the show. Stay with us.
I'm going to eat more avocado.
Oh, yeah.
Eat more brain cells connecting.
I'm going in.
Well, welcome back. It's 9:56. Latinos across the nation are facing a new reality. Cancer is the leading cause of death, and here in South Texas, it is the most prevalent.
KSAT 12 is tackling the issue and finding out what is causing it and what we can all do to help out.
Well, Erica Hernandez sat down with the doctor leading the charge in research and helping spread awareness about the problem.
It's all about educating and educating to overcome that fear in our communities.
Dr. Emily Ramirez is leading the efforts to try to turn some startling statistics about cancer in Latinos into educating the public and debunking myths. The subject one close to her heart after her own father passed away unexpectedly almost 30 years ago of liver cancer.
And we never understood why or what contributed to that. He wasn't a smoker, didn't drink alcohol, you know, these kinds of things. It just has really touched me in a way that I just feel it's important to reach out to our community because cancer has now become the leading cause of death in Latinos.
So what type of cancers are affecting Latinos? Well, it is stomach cancer, cervical cancer, and liver cancer. All 3 are preventable if caught early, but Latinos are just not getting checked.
There's still that myth that if you talk about cancer, you might be willing it on someone, right? So we try to say, no, it's really important that you understand what are the risk factors. The main one is not coming in for preventative checkups.
Other risk factors include smoking and being overweight. But there are also some other problems that are causing the numbers to go up, like no insurance, lack of accessibility to healthcare providers, and a lack of Latino doctors.
Only about 6% of all physicians in the U.S. are Hispanic, and then you spread them all around the U.S., right? We're fortunate here in South Texas and San Antonio, we have a few more, but definitely being able to speak in your own language and have that rapport with your physician is critical.
So how can we help? Dr. Ramirez says we can all help by encouraging those yearly checkups taking part in clinical trials, and educating each other about the actual truths of visiting the doctor.
Knowledge and the education that our community needs to how to access the healthcare system, because we're here to help. We're with partners like UHS and others. There's ways to pay for the healthcare that won't destroy a family.
Erica Hernandez, KSAT 12 News.
Well, Dr. Ramirez and others will join KSAT next Tuesday to talk about this issue. So our town hall will be hosted by Stefania Jimenez, and that will begin at 2 p.m. So you can tune in any way you stream. Just visit KSAT.com for more information.
All right, let's look at our forecast. Mia.
Yeah, let's get a look outside with our temperatures right now, warming up to 82 degrees here in San Antonio. Still upper 60s in comfort, 70s, especially west of I-35. Plenty of sunshine into this afternoon, a high temperature in the low to mid 90s. It's possible we see a few rogue wind gusts upwards of about 20 miles per hour. Monitoring for that very, very small chance for rain, especially south of San Antonio, closer to the Rio Grande Valley, late tonight and into tomorrow. After that, just dry and warm in the afternoons into next week, but those cooler mornings will once again be a nice change of pace as we start to see another batch of that drier air kind of seep in next week.
Well, maybe that'll be baby steps to cooler weather.
At this point, I think we just need to kind of tiptoe through it, and we'll get there eventually.
We're doing it, man. It'll be here before we know it.
Yeah, it'll be nice.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching us today. Y'all have a good one, and we're sending it out to who?
SA Live.